Am I going to sell my house and leave Portugal? Hey guys, I wanted to do a video that was a little different than my normal format here on YouTube, something a little more raw and uncut. If you saw my recent video about the cancellation of the NHR tax regime, where I highlighted why retirees and digital nomads that are looking to take advantage of an attractive tax regime in the European Union might want to look outside of Portugal now that it's been canceled. Now, this video has received a lot of controversy, which, to be honest, I expected. It's always been important for me to create content that starts a conversation. And sometimes it's not all pretty, but that's reality. Life isn't unicorns and rainbows all the time. And if you've seen my more recent videos, I am not sugarcoating what it's like to live here in Portugal. And I think that that representation on the American side is very important. Amidst the hundreds of YouTubers that are just claiming Portugal is the best place to live and the best place to vacation, I think it's important to bring the other side of that. And that's what I strive to do on this channel. The good, the bad, and the ugly, which is, to be honest, the most Portuguese thing that I could do. If you don't know me, my name is Dave in Portugal, and I've been making videos here in Portugal for the past 2 years. I've learned so much along the way, and living in Portugal has surprised me in ways I never thought it would. Now, if you were moving to Portugal just to take advantage of one of the best incentives in the entire European Union when it comes to tax, it may be time to look elsewhere. Luckily, there's an amazing language app called Babbel that offers many different languages in case the country you move to doesn't work out for you. Adeus Português, hola Español. Babbel is one of the top language learning apps in the world, and it's a great way to be able to travel and navigate your way around a new country.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas? Me llamo Dave.
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres? ¿Dónde está el baño? Gracias. I'll never forget the first time I went to Spain and a Spanish friend asked me, ¿Estás casado? Which means, are you married? To which I replied, sí, estoy muy cansado, which means, yes, I'm very tired. He looked at me, laughed, and replied, we all get a little tired of our spouse sometimes. What's cool is that Babbel is actually scientifically proven to help you start speaking a new language in just 3 weeks. And the lessons are designed by real language teachers. And if you're not fully satisfied, Babbel offers a 20-day money-back guarantee. Babbel also offers live classes, and you get 2 free classes with your subscription. Babbel teaches real-world conversations to help you travel, talk about business, building relationships, and more. They offer multiple subscriptions to choose from, including a lifetime subscription. Click the link in the description below to get 60% off your subscription. Let me know in the comments which language you're interested in learning and why. Now, back to the video. So one of the things I noticed in the comments were a lot of people were asking if the only reason that foreigners come to Portugal were because of the tax breaks. Now, I can't answer that question for all foreigners coming to Portugal, but what I can say is that I think it's a combination of the following: safety, the weather, and the rich cultural heritage of Portugal. And of course, I can see how the tax breaks makes Portugal a viable option for people that want to move to Portugal but can't afford living in most of Western Europe. And I think this is exactly what the Portuguese government did to court and attract foreign investors and foreign companies to come set up in Portugal after the global financial collapse in 2009. But it might have worked a little too well. Do I think they should have also focused on raising the wages for the locals and creating more social housing? Yeah, there are still hundreds of government-owned abandoned buildings right in the center of Lisbon. But this is definitely a complex problem that is happening in almost every city in the world. Part of the reason that I moved to Portugal is because I couldn't afford a house where I came from because Californians were moving in. So there's this trickle-down effect in the world where I think people are moving where they can afford, and it's not the foreigners or the people coming's fault. It's just an unfortunate situation for the locals that have to endure this gentrification. But it is interesting to me how similar to the United States, people tend to blame and want to place blame on foreigners for all their problems. And it seems like this globalization is inevitable. But there is a silver lining for people that are wanting to still take advantage of the NHR. There's a law firm based in Lisbon called Fresh Portugal, and they're offering a last-minute tax residency package. There's a link in the description below. So as long as people have a NIF number, which is a Portuguese fiscal tax number, a bank account, and a long-term rental contract, Fresh Portugal is acting fast to try and get people registered to the NHR last minute. They posted a great webinar that I learned a lot about Portugal taxes in the US and in Portugal and how everything works. There's a link to that in the description below. Now, I have received so many messages and emails about what I'm going to do and if I'm going to stay here in Portugal or not. Will I be selling my house? Right now, it is not my intention to sell my house because I love where I live. I think I got extremely lucky to live within an hour of Lisbon and 20 minutes from the beach where some of the best surfing in Portugal is. And also having the privacy where, you know, my neighbors aren't looking into my backyard and looking into all the windows, which privacy is a luxury here in Portugal. The houses are built more often than not very close to each other, and usually your neighbors can see everything. However, I do have an opportunity that has presented itself that may require me to relocate in the near future. It has not been fully confirmed as of yet, but if everything goes well, I will be announcing it in the next couple months. So that leaves the question many have been asking, will I be leaving Portugal? And the answer is no. I will most certainly be staying here in Portugal. When I first decided to come to Portugal, I didn't even know what the NHR tax regime was. I had heard that cryptocurrency wasn't taxed in the beginning, which now has changed. And I had heard that there were some tax benefits for specialty jobs like tech and doctors and stuff like that, which I didn't fall into. And I knew that Portugal offered a D-series visa that made it much easier than the other countries within the European Union to become a resident of. But it honestly took almost a year before I even knew what the NHR tax regime was. As with many countries in the European Union, it's kind of expected that you're going to have to pay this higher tax rate than the United States. And for the quality of life and the services, I am perfectly okay with that. But fast forward to today, and I have no intention of leaving this wonderful country, and I have done my best to integrate into it. I have a video coming up all about Lisbon, where I explore the city with some locals and dive deeper into this. So definitely keep a lookout for that, because in my opinion, it is one of the most authentic videos that I've done about living here in Portugal. I spend a lot of time on these videos, and I hope that you guys enjoy them. If you're still interested in moving to Portugal, I'm going to be putting out a complete moving to Portugal guide that I've been working on for the past year. You can sign up for the waiting list at daveinportugal.com to receive notifications on when that guide will be available. Now, as a final conclusion, I would like to say if you are going to move to Portugal, you won't truly be happy unless you make an effort to truly integrate into the culture here. In my personal experience, if you try just a little bit to respect the customs and traditions here in Portugal, it goes a long way. Now, I'd like to thank all of my viewers from Portugal, America, and around the world. I couldn't do this without you, and I really appreciate the support and everybody that says hi to me. I really do love living here in Portugal, and I will continue to make the most authentic and real content possible. If you want to see more content about what it's like living here in Portugal and Europe, make sure to subscribe. I'll be posting videos like this every single week on this channel. This is some guy named Dave in Portugal, and hopefully we'll see you next time.